Picture yourself walking through those heavy, gold-trimmed doors. The air is slightly chilled. The scent is a curated mix of expensive casino air and a faint hint of excitement, and there's that unmistakable rhythmic chime of 1,000 machines all singing the same song. You're about to be a winner. We've all been there, standing in the glow of a neon-drenched slot, convinced that the next spin is the one that changes everything. You see the reels blur. Your heart skips a beat as the first two symbols line up perfectly, and then a near miss. But you stay. Why? Because the machine told you that you were close. It's a pattern of loss that feels like a promise of victory, a cycle that consumes nearly 99% of players. Today, we're peeling back the velvet curtain. I am going to show you the secrets ex-casino employees have kept hidden, truths about which games are designed to bleed you dry, and how the house uses your own psychology against you. Understanding this truth is where your real success story begins. 1. The payout trap. Why big numbers equal big losses. Let's kick things off with a hard truth. Some games on the floor are nothing more than a sophisticated ripoff. While every machine is designed to favor the house, there are certain trap slots that ex-workers avoid like the plague. You've seen them. The flashy ones with the massive 250 to 1 or 500 to 1 payouts plastered across the top in bright, blinking LED lights. They promise life-altering wealth for a $5 bet, and your brain lights up at the possibility. But here's the insider secret. Those massive payout ratios are often the biggest red flags. These are high-volatility nightmares. I once watched a man sink $3,000 into a mega multiplier machine over 4 hours. He hit plenty of small wins that felt great, but the big one was mathematically programmed to stay just out of reach. For every person who hits that jackpot, thousands are subsidizing it with their rent money. The employees in the surveillance room call these the money munchers because they eat your balance faster than you can hit the spin button. Have you ever noticed that the loudest, most colorful machines are usually the ones positioned right by the entrance? There's a reason for that. They want to lure you in before you find the smarter games. Always look for machines with a return to player or RTP above 96%. And generally stay away from branded, movie-themed slots. The licensing fees the casino pays usually mean the payouts are much tighter to compensate. 2. The architecture of time. Why you never see the sun. Have you ever walked into a casino at noon, played for what felt like 20 minutes, and walked out to find the stars shining? That's not a glitch in the matrix. It's a masterclass in psychological architecture. If you look around a casino floor, you will notice two things are missing: windows and clocks. This is a deliberate tactic known as disorientation design. By stripping away the external cues of time passing, the casino creates a timeless void where your only focus is the game in front of you. Without the sun setting or the hands of a clock moving, your internal stop button never gets triggered. I once spoke to a floor manager who admitted the lighting is kept at a constant twilight level. It's bright enough to keep you alert, but soft enough to make you lose track of the hours. They want you in a flow state where the outside world ceases to exist. When you're in this zone, you're not thinking about dinner or getting home. You're thinking about the next spin. This suspension of reality is the casino's most effective weapon for extending your time on device, which is the primary metric they use to ensure they get every cent you're willing to spend. Always wear a watch or set a vibrating reality check alarm on your phone every 60 minutes. Once that alarm goes off, force yourself to walk to the exit, even if it's just to breathe fresh air for 5 minutes. 3. The near-miss illusion, winning at losing. Imagine the reels are spinning. The first 7 lands. The second 7 lands. The third 7 is just half an inch above the payline. Your heart hammers against your ribs because you were so close. But here's the cold, hard truth from the programmers who write the code. You weren't close at all. In modern slot machines, the visual display is just a movie playing out a result that was decided the microsecond you hit the button. That near miss was specifically programmed to trigger a dopamine spike similar to a real win. Psychologists have found that near misses are actually more addictive than small wins because they convince the player that they are due for a jackpot. It's a trick of the brain. We think we're getting better at the game or that the machine is heating up. In reality, a near miss is just a loss dressed up in a tuxedo. It keeps you in the seat longer, fueled by the frustration of almost making it. The machine isn't teasing you. It's manipulating your biological reward system to keep you chasing a ghost. Remember that every spin is a mathematically independent event. The machine doesn't know, it just gave you a near miss, and it isn't due to pay out. If you find yourself getting frustrated by almost winning, it's time to cash out. 4. The sensory symphony: music, lights, and manipulation. Walk onto any casino floor and you're hit with a wall of sound. The jingle of coins, the celebratory sirens, and that upbeat, rhythmic music. This isn't just for atmosphere. Every sound is a carefully curated psychological trigger. Have you noticed that even when you lose, the machine often makes a positive, ascending sound? This is called losses disguised as wins. If you bet $5 and win $2 back, the machine celebrates with lights and music as if you've hit the jackpot. Your ears hear a victory, but your wallet just lost $3. This sensory overload is designed to keep your arousal levels high, making you more impulsive and less likely to think rationally about your budget. The music often matches the tempo of a resting heart rate or slightly faster to keep you in a state of high-energy compliance. It's an environment designed to bypass your frontal lobe, the part of the brain that handles logic, and speak directly to your impulsive lizard brain. They want you feeling like a winner even as your balance trends toward zero. If the noise is getting to you, or if you feel yourself getting swept up in the hype of the room, put on noise-canceling headphones. Playing in silence allows you to focus on the actual math of your wins and losses without the emotional manipulation of the siren's song. 5. The alcohol trap: why the drinks are free. Cocktails, free drinks. It's the most famous offer in Vegas. But as the old saying goes, there's no such thing as a free lunch or a free vodka Casinos are more than happy to give you $10 worth of booze if it means you make $1,000 worth of bad decisions. Alcohol is a powerful disinhibitor. It blunts your sense of risk and makes you braver with your bets. When you're buzzed, that $20 per spin doesn't seem so scary anymore. You stop sticking to your strategy, you forget your loss limits, and you stay in the seat long after you should have left. I've seen countless players go on a heater, only to blow the entire profit because they had one too many free whiskeys and decided to go all in on a whim. The casino isn't being hospitable. They are literally drugging your judgment to increase their hold percentage. They know that a sober player is a dangerous player, while a tipsy player is a profitable one. Save the drinking for after you've cashed out. If you must drink while playing, stick to a 1-to-1 ratio with water and never increase your bet size after your second drink. Your bankroll will thank you in the morning. 6. The eye in the sky: more than just security. You know they're watching you, but you probably don't realize how they're watching you. Modern casino surveillance, the eye in the sky, is a high-tech marvel that goes far beyond catching chip stealers. They use sophisticated facial recognition and behavioral algorithms to profile every person on the floor. They aren't just looking for cheats. They're looking for whales to cater to and advantage players to get rid of. If you start winning too consistently, the software flags your betting patterns. Surveillance can tell if you're recounting cards at a blackjack table or using a specific slot signature strategy. They also monitor the staff. If a dealer is too friendly with a guest, or if a slot technician stays at a machine too long, security is on it in seconds. They even track heat on the floor, which areas are making money and which aren't, adjusting the vibe of the room in real time. It's a total immersion monitoring system designed to protect the house's bottom line from every possible angle, including you. Don't try to beat the system with gadgets or obvious patterns. The house has a billion-dollar head start in tech. Instead, focus on small, inconsistent wins and move between different areas of the casino to keep your player profile under the radar. 7. The chip psychology: playing with toy money. Why does every casino insist on turning your hard-earned cash into colorful plastic discs? Because it's much easier to bet a blue chip than it is to bet a crisp $100 bill. This is a psychological phenomenon called fiat dissociation. When you look at a stack of chips, your brain stops seeing them as hours worked or groceries bought and starts seeing them as play tokens. They feel like toys, and therefore, they feel expendable. This dissociation is even more powerful in digital slot machines where your money is represented by credits. Losing 500 credits feels significantly less painful than losing $50. The casino wants to remove the emotional weight of money from the transaction. By the time you realize those chips represent real-world value, they've already been swept into the dealer's tray. It's a subtle but brilliant way to increase the average bet size across the board. Periodically check your credit meter and mentally convert it back to cash. If a machine says you have 4,000 credits, say out loud, "I am holding $40. Breaking the token illusion helps re-engage your logical brain and keeps your spending in check. 8. The party pit and distractions. The art of the divert. In many modern casinos, especially in Las Vegas, you'll find party pits, areas with loud music, scantily clad dancers on platforms, and a club-like atmosphere. While it looks like a fun addition to the floor, it's actually a high-level distraction technique. The goal is to overstimulate your senses so that you cannot possibly maintain the focus required for smart play. It's very hard to count cards or remember basic blackjack strategy when there's a base drop happening 3 feet away and a performer in your peripheral vision. If you want to actually win, stay out of the party pits. Seek out the boring parts of the casino, the well-lit, quieter areas where the serious players sit. The odds are usually better, and you'll be able to hear yourself think. 9. The labyrinth layout. Why you can't find the exit. Ever noticed how hard it is to walk in a straight line to the bathroom or the exit in a casino? The floor is a maze. The curved walkways, the strategically placed clusters of machines, and the confusing carpet patterns are all part of the crane's design or the Friedman concept. The goal is to make the path to the non-gaming areas, like the lobby or the street, as long and winding as possible. Every turn you take is another opportunity for a flashing light or a mega jackpot, signed to catch your eye and lure you back into a seat. They want to create stopping points where you might think, well, I'll just put $5 in this one while I'm passing by. The exits are often tucked behind massive pillars or obscured by high-limit signage. It's a physical manifestation of the sunk cost fallacy. Once you're in, they make it work to keep you there. When you first enter a casino, don't look at the machines. Look at the ceiling. Most casinos use the lighting fixtures or HVAC vents to create a pathway to the exits and restrooms. Follow the ceiling, not the carpet, to find your way out without getting distracted. 10. Croupiers and dealers. The friendly faces of the house your dealer is smiling, cracking jokes, and seemingly rooting for you to hit that 21. It's easy to feel like you're on the same team. But remember, the dealer is a professional performer. Their job is to keep the game moving fast and keep you feeling good so that you stay and, more importantly, tip. While most dealers are honest people just doing a job, they are trained to manage the energy of the table. A fast dealer is a more profitable dealer because the house edge is realized over the number of hands played per hour. If they can get you to play 60 hands an hour instead of 40, the house wins 50% more money. They are also your social anchor. If you like the dealer, you're less likely to get angry when you lose and more likely to stay just for one more shoe. They are the friendly face of a mathematical machine designed to take your chips. Be polite, but stay objective. Don't let a friendly dealer pressure you into playing faster than you're comfortable with. And never take advice on how to play your hand from a dealer. They are literally paid by the house. 11. The backroom myth, the reality of winning too much. Movies love the scene where the big winner is taken to a dark backroom and dealt with. In reality, modern casinos are corporate entities that value their gaming licenses far more than a single jackpot. If you win $1 million on a slot machine, the casino will celebrate you. They'll give you a giant check, take your photo, and use you as a walking advertisement to convince everyone else that they can win too. However, there is a limit. If you are an advantage player, someone using card counting, edge sorting, or sophisticated software to negate the house edge, they won't take you to a backroom. They will simply back you off. A floor manager will politely tap you on the shoulder and tell you that your play is too good for the house and invite you to play any game except blackjack. They have the legal right to refuse service to anyone without giving a reason. They don't mind winners. They mind players who have removed the chance from the game. If you're on a massive winning streak, don't get cocky. Act like a tourist. Throw in some bad bets occasionally, look confused, and don't count your chips too obviously. The more you look like a lucky amateur, the longer they'll let you keep winning. 12. Math is the master. High RTP versus low RTP. At the end of the day, the casino doesn't need to rig, anything because they have math. Every game has an RTP, return to player, percentage. Slots usually hover between 88% and 96%. This means for every $100 you bet, the machine is mathematically programmed to keep $4 to $12. Over a few spins, anything can happen. Over 1,000 spins, the math is inescapable. Table games like blackjack, with basic strategy, or craps often have a house edge of less than 1.5%, making them much fairer than slots. But the casino pushes the slots because the velocity of the game is higher. You can spin a slot 600 times an hour, whereas a blackjack hand takes much longer. The house edge is a slow, steady grind that eventually wins. Understanding which games have the lowest tax on your bankroll is the difference between playing for 20 minutes and playing for 5 hours. If you want your money to last, learn the basic strategy for blackjack or stick to the pass line, bets and craps. These are the closest you can get to a 50-50 toss with the house. Avoid side bets at all costs. They have the worst math on the floor. 13. The dopamine loop. The slot machine as an addiction engine. Modern slot machines are essentially highly evolved dopamine delivery systems. They use the same variable ratio reinforcement schedules as social media apps like TikTok or Instagram. The randomness is what makes it addictive. If we won every time, we'd get bored. If we lost every time, we'd quit. But by winning just enough and just often enough, often through those small wins that don't even cover the cost of the spin, the brain stays locked in a state of maybe this time. This is the dopamine loop. The lights, the touchscreens, and the bonus rounds are all designed to keep you in a trance. This state is called the zone, and for many players, the goal stops being winning money and starts being staying in the zone. The casino wins when you value the feeling of playing more than the money in your pocket. Awareness is the only cure. If you feel yourself zoning out or hitting the button mechanically without even looking at the symbols, stand up and walk away. The loop has you. Break the physical rhythm to regain your mental clarity. Playing the smart way, we've covered the lights, the sounds, the math, and the secret traps that ex-workers know all too well. The most important thing to remember is that a casino is a business, and its product is entertainment, not wealth creation. The secret to winning is knowing when you've had enough entertainment for your budget. The house always has the edge, but you have the power to walk away. Use the pro player moves we discussed. Wear a watch, stay sober, understand the RTP, and never chase your losses. Gambling should be a fun night out, like going to the movies or a concert, a cost for an experience. If you play with the mindset that the money is already spent on the fun, the casino loses its psychological grip on you. Play smart, stay in control, and remember, the best way to leave a casino with a small fortune is to go in with a large one, or just know when to call it a night.